Well, just like the government, within 15 minutes is on time, right?
I
That's
think they
true.
take actually more liberty with their time. So
Yeah.
we're doing better than the government.
So let me go. Okay, so let me go to YouTube. Oh, we're live now. Yes.
Yes.
So let me go to YouTube now and get the chat room
Yeah,
thing
that's fine.
here.
That's what I'm doing too. Sorry, my brain will start processing faster at some point. I'm hoping it's just
Hello,
Your
Barbara
hamster-
Parrish.
Your hamster off his wheel again?
my hamster is like hiding in the corner under that.
Yeah,
I don't know, whatever you put in a hamster cage.
my-
All those wood chips.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
what is that stuff?
mulch.
Yeah, no, it's got a specific name. I don't know. I haven't owned a
Um,
hamster in, I don't know, 20
I've
years.
never owned a hamster.
Flight 209, are you clear for takeoff? Roger. LA departure 3.9. Roger.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are you guys hearing my music?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
Hearing
Why
the
wasn't
music?
I hearing?
I don't know. I heard it.
The intro?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I need to hear it too. Hang on. Let me go over here and see what the heck is going on. And back again. Oh, now I
Flight
hear it.
209, are you clear for takeoff?
That's
Where
good.
did Rick?
I don't know. He's gone. don't
That
touch
was
that
short.
button, Rick.
That was short-lived.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Don't.
Pine shavings for hamster bedding. That's it.
It says Rick is calling back, but I know if I hit the button that says answer the call, it's going to be a different hangout. He's got to use that original. Oh, there you
Nope.
go. Okay.
Well, it kicked me off, so that's not going to work. But hey,
What'd you try to do?
go to YouTube to get the chat window.
Oh,
Oh.
gotcha.
Pop out, so.
Can you do it on
Whatever.
your phone?
Yeah, I could do that. Let me see here. I was going to go on the app first, but then let's do it here. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't want to task your iPad too much.
If you're self-employed,
Yeah,
miles you drive, so you can write them off. On
we're dealing with Apple here.
your
Now, if it was a Samsung 7,
always do.
it'd be on fire.
That's right. Literally.
Be on fire!
All right, hang on. So not now.
Dropbox and APG. And that's not the folder I want.
Oh, we got 31 people watching. That is amazing.
Hello, 31 people. We love you.
It looks like
really
everyone finished up watching Plain Talking UK and then came over here. So thanks, guys.
Oh, is Plain Talking UK on?
They were. I think they're done because Carlos is in the chat.
Are- Oh, I didn't even know they were recording today. I thought they record on Saturday mornings.
They've been doing a lot of Friday afternoons.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's
Would've been
Yeah, I
there had I
can't.
known.
Can't do it on my phone either, but oh well.
Why not?
I
Yeah,
don't
why
know.
not? It should work
Go
on your
to-
phone. I could do it on my phone.
Well,
Yeah. Go to the YouTube
So-
channel. Do you have the YouTube
I
app?
am. I do.
Okay.
So
Go
I'm
to
on
Airline
the actual
Pelican.
episode.
Mhm.
I've paused. I see my ugly mug on there, so.
And then
then
scroll
you
all the
see
way to
where
the
it
bottom.
says- yeah.
Mhm.
It says live chat.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I don't see live chat on here.
Should
That's
be there.
weird.
Hmm.
Oh, there it showed up now. Okay, so there. Oh, there we go. Got it. It wasn't there the first time, I promise.
I believe you.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Hey,
For
hey,
sure it
hey,
wasn't.
hey.
Yeah.
A mass exodus
Okay.
across the pond. Hey, everyone.
Well, good. So PTUK got them all warmed up for us. That's good.
Mhm.
I wonder how many of the things we're going to talk about on our show
exactly the
are
same.
going to be-
I don't know. I couldn't listen. I was at work while they were recording. So
Yeah. So if they're going to be doing the Friday thing from now on, oh, Brent, excuse me, Miami Hick just sent me a message.
Did he now?
Yeah. So, okay, send it then, Brent. Miami Hick.
Miami Hick. I love that guy.
Miami Hick.
So funny.
Okay. Well, we'll wait. We might have to do that while we're recording. And hopefully I won't push the wrong buttons.
Well.
Okay. What was I going to do here? Come over here to this, and I'm going to...
Oh, I didn't hear about this news story. That's interesting.
Which one?
The Midway Control Tower one.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting. Happened in June, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're just now releasing.
I'll be there
information.
next week.
I don't know,
I'll
man.
be
Never been too big a fan of airports with convergent runways.
Converging runways, yeah. Well, these ones which meet right in the middle of both runways.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been fond of airports. They're dangerous.
In general, it's kind of a big.
I was waiting for you to finish that sentence there, but I think that was it.
I think that was the end of the sentence. Yeah,
That was it.
there was no more.
Okay.
It's always a big mistake to expect more from me. Just ask my wife.
No, we all know that's not true.
Okay. All right. You guys about ready to start?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yes, sir. It's 1:10 p.m. here in Alaska.
Okay.
So
Let me go here to.
can I? Let me see. Oh yeah, I can. Good. Excellent.
Tell you what. No.
What's
never
that?
mind.
Okay.
I'm just thinking out loud.
I do that all the time. Freak people out.
Okay. Let's make sure that everything is recording. That's on. That's on. Hello, Taco.
I was going to say he would pick now to start barking.
It must be time to start the show.
He's like, just announce my presence from the other room.
Okay.
That's like there must be deer in the yard or something.
A deer in the yard.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can stumble our way through this thing.
Let's do it.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 239.
Flight 209, you're clear for takeoff. Roger. LA
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show, the view from our side of the cockpit door. I'm Captain Jeff, your host, broadcasting live from Studio 1 in the APG headquarters building in a northern Atlanta suburb. In today's episode, GA safety stats are improving. Woohoo! 777 pilot incapacitation, a couple of Reno air race incidents, a renowned golfer and pilot flies west. More news, feedback, and I was going to say a new Plain Tales episode, but we don't have one this week, unfortunately. Aw. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seatbacks in their upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. Flight 239 is ready for pushback. All right. Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. My name is Jeff Nielsen. I'm a captain for a major legacy carrier in the United States of America. And joining me today from the lovely Carolinas, we have a doctor, commercial pilot, skydiver.
Doctor.
We call her the flying physician. Her name, Dr. Steph.
Thank you for the lovely intro as usual, Captain Jeff. Really appreciate it. Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, Dr. Steph, like Captain Jeff said, I'm a physician here in the Charlotte area of North Carolina / South Carolina. I fly for fun mostly, but I do have a commercial certificate, multi-engine, instrument rating, all that good stuff. And happy to be back for the show again this week.
It's great to see you once again. And also joining us, you may not have seen this character in a while. His name is Miami Rick. Joining us from some location, which is not Miami.
I am as far away from Miami as you could possibly be. In fact, it took me an entire day to get out here.
So tell everybody listening, if they've never heard the show before, who the heck is Miami Rick? What do you do, man?
Miami Rick. Oh wow, that's a mystery wrapped in a riddle. Is that how it goes? No,
something like that.
Something like that, right? So no, my name is Miami Rick, or Rick Ruiz. I'm a pilot for a cargo outfit here in the United States. I fly the 747 in all its variants: the 400 passenger, the 400 freighter, the Boeing converted freighter, the Dash 8, the Dreamlifter, and then before that I flew the Boeing 777 freighter version. And then before that, the 767-300ER passenger version for a major South American carrier. Been flying airliners for, about 11 years now. So it's been a little while. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska right now. Got in yesterday evening from Miami after a very long commute. Miami, Dallas, and Dallas, Anchorage. And I am starting out I think it's a 14-day trip this time around, so really not that bad.
A short trip.
It's a short trip. It's a short trip. So starting out in Alaska and then heading down to LA and then across country to I think McGuire and then Amsterdam and Doha and then all the other weird places around the world. But yeah, so loving it. Flying cargo is what I do now. I loved flying passengers back in the day, but just cargo is just so much nicer. No complaints. So
yeah, they don't complain at all, do they?
No, they don't. They just take quiet back there, unless you're flying.
So
cows or
if they
pigs.
wanted to kind of see like a visual representation of where you're going on this particular trip, they can follow you on Twitter, Miami_Rick. I think I saw a tweet earlier today that had like a little graphic of a map showing all the different places you're going to be going. Yeah,
so actually going around the world this time around. It's interesting because sometimes you do trips that start out here, and I'm based in Anchorage for now, and I'll begin my rotation here in Anchorage, and then I'll do a lot of the South Pacific and Southeast Asia flying. I'll just basically stay between Southeast Asia, South Pacific, and the Western United States and Alaska. So I'll basically stay there. But this time around, I'm actually going around the world in 2 weeks. So that's going to be a nice change of pace for me. So
very cool. So catch us up with what's been going on with you. You haven't been on the show in a few episodes.
Well, and of course this thing is making noise now. Sorry.
Which button did I push that made that noise? It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, it was me. Sorry about that. The thing is, I'm trying to relaunch the chat here because I switched it off by mistake. But anyway, so what was the question again? I'm sorry.
I was just saying we haven't seen you in a while, and just wondered if there was anything new in your life besides flying all over the world.
No, that's pretty much it, really. And the reason really why I've missed the last couple of shows is that it's just I've been doing a lot of the Asia flying, and it's you got to keep in mind that I'm 12, 13, 14 hours ahead of you or behind you. I'm still not sure how that works. But on the other side of the world, and I'll be, it'll be the middle of the night, and I'm, a lot of times us freight dogs fly the backside of the clock or wherever the backside of the clock happens to be in that geographic location. And I'll be heading out to the airplane at 2, 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and I'll see the YouTube notification that APG is recording live, and I'm going, man, So once again, missing out on it. But yeah, just doing a lot of flying, loving the 747. It's I just completed 200 hours on it. So it's very, very long sectors, very, very long legs. So you really build up a lot of time quite quickly flying this thing. These kinds of trips that I do. So it's a lot of fun.
Do you have the high minimums system set up for like until you reach a certain number of hours, you're limited to certain things?
Yeah, but no. Basically, so the way that works for us, and the way the figure that I had to reach to get that stuff removed off of my, I guess, jacket was 100 hours. So once I got to 100 hours, I was able to do just basically get rid of all those high minimums and fly, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3 approaches and all that kind of stuff. So without any kind of restrictions. So
yeah, I
just
think that
a normal regular line pilot now, which is good.
must be pretty standard, I guess.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, we're glad that you're back. Now, we were going to have you with us in Miami. You weren't supposed to leave until, I think, tomorrow, but then things changed. But luckily, we were able to catch you while you're in Anchorage.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be back on with you guys and gals. So it's going to be another great one.
Yeah. Awesome. And Dr. Steph, what's
Yes.
new with you?
Oh, what is new with me?
Have you
Now I
been
can't
flying
remember
at all?
I have been flying. I was trying to remember if we talked about that before the show started or after we started recording, and I couldn't
Before.
remember. Okay. It's been a long week for me. Let me just start with that. It's, sometimes I love what I do for work, but sometimes you have those weeks that are just extra challenging. And this was one of those weeks. And it wasn't any one thing in particular. It was more like every day there was something that happened that consumed a lot of my time, a lot of my mental focus and energy. And I'm just kind of feeling not my usual self today. So I apologize for that in advance. I'll get better as the show goes on, I'm sure. The beer is helping.
Good.
Nice.
Hey, so I want to, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to keep going there with, you asked me what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So
We were going to continue to talk about it.
okay, good.
But keep going.
Well, he asked me the question before the show and I just kind of went, I don't know. What have I done? I couldn't remember. Anyway, I did go flying this past week. It was very nice of Matt and Carlos from the Plane Talking UK to invite me on their show last Saturday. So I chatted with them. We read some news stories, had a great time, and then it was a beautiful day. And I went out to my now local flight school, FBO, and they have a couple different planes for rent. And I'm eventually just going to get checked out on all of them because there's a regular 172, there's a 172 RG, there's a Piper Arrow, and then a Cirrus. So the only thing that was available last weekend was the 172 RG. So I said, hey, let's go out and get checked out in it. Why not? So spent about an hour and a half or so flying the plane around. And now I can go and fly that one whenever I'd like. So that's good.
Nice.
And what else?
Now,
So
for those,
how'd you like going back to flying high wing again?
It was fun. I had a good time in it. It was, yeah. I don't.
for those listening to the show right now who are not pilots, Dr. Steph, what
yes.
does RG, what's the difference between a 172 and 172?
Yeah, conventional Cessna 172 is a single engine, 4-seat, high wing aircraft, non-retractable landing gear. But the RG is actually a complex aircraft. So it's got your retractable landing gear, it's got your constant speed prop. It's so if you were doing commercial training or whatnot, it's a good trainer for that. But it's there, it's available to rent. It doesn't really go a whole lot faster than a regular 172 or anything like that with the retractable gear, but it's an option. So
Hey, you get to say positive climb, gear up.
you do.
Oh.
And
And then it just flies exactly like a 172.
When you land gear up, you go.
Exactly. And then it just
You go, I
right.
forgot
You
this
just-
was the other one.
You
No.
literally grind to a stop when you land if you put the
It's a
gear
quick
down.
stop. It's a quick stop.
Very.
Yeah, so there's all of that. And then next week I'll be out in Chicago over the weekend because I'm running for the 4th year in a row, the Chicago Marathon. Very excited about that.
And you are representing a charity, are you not?
I am. And actually, that's how I actually got involved in running distances in the first place. A good friend of mine from going all the way back to grade school, she's involved with the board of the Illinois Spina Bifida Association. And a couple years ago, they were officially recognized as a charity, and they were looking for people to join their team. And I resisted, said, I'm not a runner. And then I caved in because they were pretty persistent. And it's a good thing that I did because it's been really great. I really enjoyed actually doing all this long distance running and raising money for them. So this will be the 4th year in a row that I'm raising money for the Illinois Spina Bifida Association.
And so
Hey, Steph, if you're not a runner, I'm not a walker. 'Cause, man.
So
Yeah.
I've gotten better. And this year I've actually got real time goals, personal best goals, and I've done a lot of my training is I finally figured it out. So I think I figured it out. We'll see.
So if folks wanted to help you out with your fundraising, how would they do that?
Yeah, so kind of last minute. I know the race is next weekend, but there is a website which is really, really, really super long, and I don't remember off the top of my head. But what I will do is I will give you the link to that to put in the show notes.
Okay.
And maybe I'll put out a tweet about it as well.
Okay.
How about
Very
that?
good.
And it is on. I can send it to the Facebook page too.
Fantastic. All right. So yeah, I was listening to. Speaking of walking, I'm not a runner. I'm a walker, and I was listening to several podcasts that had kind of piled up in my podcast episode pile, and one of which was the one that you were on, the PT UK, the Plane Talking UK, which is a fantastic show. Carlos and Matt Smith are the co-host of the show, and they always have great guest hosts. And of course, Steph represented APG very well. And then also not Miami Rick, main man Micah was also on the show, and it was very enjoyable. And that's where I learned about your Chicago Marathon and your fundraising and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool.
Right.
Excellent.
Carlos cheated. He knew about it. I didn't know we were going to talk about that. So, but very kind of him to do so.
Speaking of other podcasts, another one that we've talked about in the past is Ready for Takeoff podcast. Our own Captain Nick was the guest on. It's an interview style show. George Nolly does a fantastic job interviewing people with extensive aviation backgrounds, and of course, Captain Nick, with his previous military experience and now commercial experience, was asked by George to be on the show. And I think it was episode number 46. I'll have a link to it in the show notes. But just to give you an idea of how great this the show was or is with Captain Nick, let's take a listen here.
I always find it a bit self-serving for people to do a short career and then get off into civil aviation. I mean, you'll get plenty of time in civil aviation to get bored, so you want to keep that down to a minimum as far as I'm concerned. All the excitement's in the military.
Absolutely. Now,
ouch.
Ow.
So I guess he's talking about people like me who had a short military career. Oh, well, if you want to hear more words
And then actually
of wisdom.
he just said, he went, Captain Jeff. And no,
he was holding a picture of you and pointing at it while he was saying that.
that's right. This guy.
Yeah, it was a really interesting interview. And no, honestly, I'm just playing around, having fun. It was a really good interview with Captain Nick. And so many of you who listen to this show already know a lot about his past, his RAF and RAAF experience, and his father and his aviation experience and all that kind of stuff. But it was still enjoyable to listen to it over again and hear about self-serving people like me. Okay. Let's see. The other thing I was going to talk about was I had a meetup with the guy that does our website, Arash Mahin. And he was here in town in Atlanta for a Microsoft conference. And so he said, hey, why don't you come down here? We'll meet at Legal Seafoods. And that's what we did. We had a great time. And here I have a photo that I want to share. If you're watching the video, should be able to see a selfie that was taken of Arash and I at
if you're not watching the video, it was on Twitter. And
oh yeah,
I think
we put it out there.
Yeah,
I think we put it out there as well. So we had a great time. That's before we consumed many beers.
we want to see the post beer selfie next time.
I want to see the after. Where's the after?
So we were texting back and forth the next day, and he said, I had a great time. Me too. I said, I have a headache though. How many beers did we drink? We had a good time. Enjoyed several IPAs, but from the West Coast and the Atlanta area. So,
Beautiful.
Arash, it was a great time meeting you in person for the first time. It's kind of weird. I've known him for so long, and he's been doing the website for us and contributing to the show. And I when I was taking Marta down to the downtown area, I was thinking, I don't think I've ever met him like in real life, like face to face before. So that was kind of odd when I first met him. I felt like I'd already known him.
That's kind of the funny thing about podcasting as a medium. You get to know all these people, the community that gets created, and then you meet them in person. You're like, oh, I already know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know everything there is to know about you.
Exactly.
You know who I haven't met? I haven't met this Marta that you're talking about. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Marta? Yeah, she's sweet. She's cute. I see her a lot.
Do you? She takes you to work, does she?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Hey, I had a meetup myself.
Did you?
That's
right. Yeah.
I did.
Tell us about that.
So I flew down to Sydney, Australia, a couple of weeks ago. And I met up with Ray from Down Under and Jason Wu down there. And that was a lot of fun. They came out and saw me out in so we stay in this part of town called Coogee Beach, which is, I guess, a suburb of Sydney. Really, really nice part of town. Really nice little seaside, suburb. So they got down there, and we went out and we were looking around for Thai food. Yeah, because I don't know, I'm partial to Thai food. I'm gonna have some later today, actually. And we walked up and down this one street, I forget what it's called, looking for this Thai food place, and we find one finally, and of course it's closed. So it always happens that way. So we walk back down the street and we find this little restaurant, and we just sat there and just talked to our plans for a couple of hours. And it was really nice to meet these two guys face to face. But I mean, I completely agree with Steph. This whole podcasting world, you finally meet someone face to face, but when you're there, you kind of feel like you already know them because you have this rapport, and you've been in contact with them, and and there's been interaction for a long time before you actually get to meet them face to face. So we had a great time, and it was great to see you guys out there, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again next time I head down under.
Excellent.
Awesome.
And I think we may just hear from Jason Wu in some feedback later on in the show.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. So with that, let's move on to the coffee fund. What's that you say?
Johnny, how much more coffee? No thanks.
It's your way to keep the APG crew full of coffee and beer, and also helps to offset the costs of doing the show. And since the last week, or last episode, we've had a couple Coffee Fund Classic contributors. We call them the Coffee Fund Cadre. Steve Trumbull and Nelson Bensabat. I'm not sure if that's pronouncing his name correctly or not, but Nelson from Portugal, whom we met at the Farnborough Foray, the meetup there in Farnborough. And so thank you, both of you, for your nice contributions. And another way to contribute is to become a patron of the show. And since the last episode, we have a new patron, Nick Johannes. Thank you, Nick, for joining the Coffee Fund Cadre. One of the perks that you get when you do is you have access to something that we put out every once in a while called the Captain's Log, or now we're calling it the Crew Log, because Captain Nick is also participating in putting out some of those little recordings, kind of a little extra behind the scenes kind of content for those who are contributing to the show financially. So we'd like to thank all of you for your contributions to the Coffee Fund, whether it be the classic method or the patron or Patreon method. Also, I've been kind of remiss, kind of promised our top level contributors that we would mention them now and then on the show. And let me start off with our top of the top. We have Lucas Diamond and Asa Armin. And then the next level down, Neville Bounds, Michael Benson, Robert Wolf, Matt Donnermeyer, and Mike Ham. And then the third high level that we have. Nick Carson, Ken Hayes, Larry James, Randall Shepard, David Moulineau, Chris Edwards, Richard Miller, Larry Gregory, the geezer, Zebulon Dawson, Jonathan Turfboer, Mike Clark, Liz Piper, Chris and Tanya, Justin Williams, Doug Mayane, Andrew Espig, Stephen Ward, Stephen Wisniewski, Dan from Catholic in Training, Adrian Meacham, Jim G., John from Gazing Skyward TV, and Lee Hayden. And some of those folks have been with us contributing to the fund for about as long as it's been around. Lee Hayden, he started up in January of 2014, and he's still a regular contributor to the show. So thank you very much for your great support. And then finally, I'd like to mention one person in particular who also has been contributing to the fund since the beginning in January of 2014, as far as the Patreon is concerned, and that's Asa Armin, living in the Vancouver, British Columbia area. He has contributed a huge amount of money, in the thousands of dollars over this time. So I just wanted to say, play a little brass fanfare for him. And of course, we should probably do some applause as well. Definitely, man. I mean, I can't tell you how much your support has meant to the show. So, Asa, you are the man.
Awesome, man. Way to go. Thank you so much for that support.
So if you want to find out more about the coffee fund, you can head over to airlinepilotguy.com/coffee, and you too can become a contributor, only if you have the resources to do so. As we always say, if you need to save your money for flying lessons, for food, for shelter, clothing, all those basic level needs, but especially the flying training part, don't send your money to us, please. We'll send it back if we can figure out how to do that. Okay. Let's get on with the news.
Stand by for news.
Let's start off on a high note, and this from the National Transportation Safety Board here in the United States. 2015 aviation statistics show general aviation accidents continue to decline.
Woohoo.
So that's a good thing. Oh, you're back. Thought you were leaving.
No, I haven't left yet. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay.
But I just wanted to say that's really awesome. I just want to get my sense in on this one.
Cool. Yeah. Let's see. Out of Washington, according to the latest aviation statistics released by the National Transportation Safety Board, Part 91 GA accidents and fatalities continued their downward trend in 2015. And just as in 2014, there were no fatalities for U.S. airlines. Yay.
Good.
All
absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right.
Now, there have been a few boxes that have been mutilated and destroyed, but that's not part of the statistics. So that's, yeah. Anyway, so even though the fatality rate in 2015 was the lowest it has been in many years, 376 people still lost their lives. Wow, that's a lot of people, 376. And this is the general aviation spectrum or segment. Mm-hmm. According to NTSB Chairman Christopher Hart, which is why improving general aviation safety is on the NTSB's most wanted list of transportation safety improvements. While lower, these numbers are still too high. So we're still working on it. But anyway, so that's...
Downward trend is always good, though. Well, if we can keep that up, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it all goes down as far as GA is concerned, and really in aviation, all of aviations. You know, just know your limits. Know your limits. Operate within your, abilities, and follow checklists and be thorough. And as long as you do that, then you should not become a statistic. Just operate safely and just make sure you're back home for dinner.
There's always going to be some things that may be out of your control, but be as well prepared for those things as you possibly can be. So
exactly. Yeah. Listen to that little voice in your head that tells you, maybe
check the fuel tanks. Make sure you really have fuel in your wings.
The oil,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just
also,
attention to detail is a good thing.
right. And as Rick said, don't put yourself in a situation in which you're not qualified. You know, if you're a VFR pilot, don't go out there and get close to the IFR conditions, because if you do, you could find yourself in a whole bunch of trouble. And trust us, flying in real IFR or IMC is not the same as flying under the hood.
No, not at all.
It's not. Yeah, you can't peek from underneath and cheat. It doesn't work that way.
It's much more mentally taxing, definitely.
It really is. So, but I mean, but it's awesome. You know, trending. You know, all those numbers are trending down, and hopefully next year will be another down year. So let's just keep it going that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Captain No Likey in the chat room. We have to figure out why people don't like Captain No Likey. Or maybe he just doesn't like anything. Perhaps that's it. He said, "Are general aviation block hours down?" I'm not sure, but they're talking about the rate. So even if they are down, the rate itself is
it's still a percentage, basically.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. Glenn Towler says, "I think that GA hours are down," which is not a good thing. We need to get those things going. We need to trend up with the hours flown out there. But that's a whole nother subject that we could tackle some other day. But how we get more people to start flying and buying airplanes and renting airplanes. And
Are you still there, Rick?
I'm here. Did we lose Jeff?
I think so.
Okay.
But I have to go answer this call because otherwise they're going to start calling me. So
yeah, go for it.
While you guys figure that out, I'll be right back.
Cool. Okay, I'll be here. So apparently Captain Jeff is frozen there. So if I look, yeah, he dropped off the call apparently. I think we have. Hang on, let me send him a quick message. I wonder if he. It's the Rick show now. It's my show now. Ha ha ha. Hang on, let me send him a message. Hang on. Jeffrey, we missed. We lost you. Here. But all you guys can still hear me, right? Oh, welcome to 747 chat. Yes. So any 747 questions, shoot them right now. Right now. Because there's no room for mad dogs, or certainly no room for Airbus right now. So just send them over. So let me see. Tell us about the 747 that you fly. All right, Carlos. I still need to go on your show, man. We're gonna make that happen. Now, Steph she's been there twice now, and I haven't been on your show, not even once. But we will make it happen. The 747, man, that thing is just amazing. It just handles. It's a little heavy on the controls, actually, but maybe that's me just being spoiled after flying the 777 for so long. And then the 76 was a lot lighter, so it's like the controls were also, light compared to the 74. Yeah, so hand flying the 74, it's a little heavy. You certainly need to trim the airplane correctly. But the flight path itself is super stable once you disconnect the autopilot, and the autopilot obviously has the airplane on trim or in trim. So the second you disconnect, you basically just kind of leave it unless you do big power changes, or you need to reset your speed somehow. So you just kind of retrim for that condition and just let it go, and then the airplane just the the momentum of the airplane is just so big that it just kind of stays where you leave it. So and then landing the thing is it's interesting because you're got to remember you're sitting 40-50 feet up in the air, and so threshold crossing height is about 50 feet. Minimum crossing height, threshold crossing height is 44 feet. So the flight deck over the threshold, taking into account the fact that you do come up with a little bit of a nose up attitude, puts you close to 100 feet off the ground by the time you begin to do the flare. So it's interesting. Let me see. Did he get back to me? Uh-oh. So Captain Jeff says that the internet is down, which is not good. So let me see. Is it just internet is down? Oh well. So let me see. How many ducks can you fit in a 747? I don't know. It depends on how big the ducks are, I guess. How much actual hand flying do you get to do? It's really up to you. I like to hand fly a lot, so and it depends. I mean, if I am not tired and if it's not the middle of the night and if the weather conditions are good and it's not a super busy TMA or traffic management area, where there's concerns of separation with other airplanes or noise abatement procedures or that kind of stuff, I'll hand fly it, into the mid-teens or low 20s. You do have to have the autopilot on by the time you get to 29,000 feet because you can't legally hand fly an airplane in our VSM airspace or reduced vertical separation minimums airspace. And then on the way down, I'll usually click it off, I don't know, maybe 5,000 feet. Again, if conditions are right, because I don't want to, put myself in a position where I might, bust an altitude or a clearance. Also, you have to keep in mind that whenever one pilot is hand flying, then the other pilot has to all of a sudden work the radios, configure the airplane, and work the mode control panel, changing the different modes of not the autopilot because you're hand flying at that point, but the automatic flight director system. So if you're going to intercept an ILS, he has to actually select that button. If you're going to begin a descent, he has to reset your altitude window or your airspeed or your heading. So because you have your hand full flying the airplane. So you also have to keep in mind that if you are hand flying, then all of a sudden you're dumping all this extra